What's up, guys? So, if you're anything like me, okay, I got the sun on my face. So, if you guys are anything like me, one thing you might struggle with is reading personal development books, financial books, skill building books, only to realize, like 3 days later, that you don't remember not even half the information. Maybe 80% of the information is gone. That's one thing I've always kind of struggled with. Like, I'll end up reading a bunch of personal development books, but I can't even give an accurate summary of it to somebody else or really say what I learned from it and how it applies to my life. And as somebody's like who's highly into like personal development, high performance, things like that, that's not necessarily a good thing. I mean, it's always good to be a reader, but if you're not actually retaining and using it, then honestly, you're just wasting time. So, some of you guys may know, I'm currently reading the book Limitless, and I just wanted to kind of put you guys on the 2 habits that I've learned over the course of the week that I believe you can apply to empower yourself when you're reading and to hopefully be able to retain more information. So, the first habit is to employ active recall. So, what this is essentially is it's reviewing what you just now have either read or studied, closing down the notes in the book, and either writing down or reciting without having to look. Sorry, without having to look the information that you just read. So what this is doing, it's forcing you to put effort into your learning. Basically, you're learning the difference between two things: recognition and recollection. So the differences between these two is recognition is you say you meet somebody at a party or some type of event. Recognition is you remember their face, or let's say if you read a book, you remember the cover of the book and you remember a little bit what the book is about, or you remember a place or an image or something like that, versus recollection. What recollection is actually not only remembering the person's face, but it's actually remembering their name, what it is that they look like, what it is that you guys talked about. Same thing with a book. Not just remembering, okay, there were some chapters that talk about this, but actually, what did you learn from it? What were the main points of it? And how have you applied it to your life? The, the way I think about these two is recognition, recognition is basically like a book cover along with the chapters, or I would say the table of contents, whereas recollection is actually the real content. So, as I just stated, that's the what did you learn from it? That's the how you're applying it to your life. So, how do you use it? Basically, once you get done reading a chapter or studying a section, what you do is you immediately close down the book without looking at the notes, and you just start reciting what it is that you retain from it. Once you've gotten out all that you know, review your notes or review the chapter and see how much you were able to retain, and then focus on studying the parts that you didn't or that you couldn't remember. And you want to do this a few times. And by doing this, like I said at the beginning, you're training yourself to be able to actually retain and comprehend the information rather than just passively I would say absorbing it, and then honestly it's just going in one ear and out the other. The second habit is space repetition. So what this is, it's just simply reviewing information in consistent intervals. So this is mainly used as a way to continue to put the information into your mind and be able to review it over a set of time. Just basically to make sure that it's consistently going through your thought process and you're actually able to think through it. It has to do with two central theories, not theories, but two central elements: primacy and recency. Primacy is you tend to remember the things near the beginning, And recency is when you tend to remember things near the end. So typically, like let's say in a college lecture, you'll typically remember like the first thing the teacher teaches and the last thing he teaches. So by consistently doing this, what you're doing is you're creating more times that your brain can recognize the information that's exposed to the material, thereby building up that recollection. And it's recommended that you do this along with active recall. And if you're able to do this consistently, I would say at least 2 times a day. So it could be once in the morning and then once at night, or maybe once in the afternoon, one just before evening or before you go to bed. Whatever works for your schedule, but I recommend using these 2 habits in tandem. By doing this, you'll be able to retain more information and you'll actually be able to use it on a consistent basis. So, like I said, I'm just reading the book Limitless. I'm learning a lot from it. And this is just something I've been trying out. It's the reason why I'm able to basically explain this to you guys without actually having to look at the notes. So, obviously, I'm learning something. So, I hope this helps you. With that being said, people, I hope you guys have an empowering day. And I'll see you guys later.